mobile CPU. You have in the G703 a full 1080 with 230 watts, so full desktop replacement. 64 GB of memory, 3 SSDs in RAID 0, 2 of them attached directly to the CPU, so you're not bottlenecked by the PCI Express lanes. So 2 directly to the CPU, 1 to the PCH, and they're all running in RAID 0. So that's a special trick we did together with Intel, and we have kind of like an exclusive deal on that. So we're getting around 8,700 megabytes per second instead of, you know, for the PCH you would only get like 3,500, maybe 4,000. And so desktop replacement in general, that's the factor, that form factor where everybody says, well, it's so big and so heavy, but that's because there's people who really want that much performance or need that much performance. But we try to think outside of the box. How can we innovate and how can we come up with something cool and unique and different? So how can we improve a desktop replacement form factor? And we came up with what people really wanted is something more ergonomic, and they wanted to be able to sit closer to the display and also have the keyboard close to the display and close to the table, so more ergonomic. So we created this new form factor, which, so you just press down like this, and press down. So it looks like a regular laptop like this, and it's pretty much everything like a G703, but you see it's 20 millimeters slimmer. So you have the kickstand, and you open it like this, and you can remove the keyboard and fold it as such, and then use it wirelessly like this, or just bring your own keyboard. So the key thing about this is you can sit much closer to the screen, you can rotate the screen however you want it, there's a stepless, you can recline it further, adjust the angle, and you can put the keyboard wherever you want it as well. And like I said, bring your own keyboard as well. So it's a lot more ergonomic. Your keyboard is right flat on the table, and you can use your own keyboard as well.
Yeah, there's a Type-C connection too, so if you care about latency, you can still go that route too.
Yeah, so there's a battery in here. It's a wireless keyboard, and you can charge it over this or over the pogo pins. There you go. So now I switch it to wireless mode, and you can see even when I detach it, the keyboard is still working. And a really cool thing compared to the G703, to our standard desktop replacement form factor, is obviously it's much slimmer. It's 20 millimeters slimmer than the G703. It's around half the thickness of MSI GD75, for example. And it's 100% CNC machine, so it's made out of one big chunk of aluminum, which you can see all the pieces over there. And it comes with Wi-Fi range boost. So if you remember from our SCAR2 Hero 2 series, we have 4 Wi-Fi antennas. We dynamically cycle through them to use the 2 antennas that have the best signal. So no matter how you have Wi-Fi signal in your room bouncing around and reflecting off walls, you always have good Wi-Fi signal.
What's the processor and GPU on board?
This is with a full RTX 2080 and with a Core i9. Pricing we can't talk about yet. It's not going to be cheap. So if you're familiar with the G703, that everything maxed out is around 5,000 in the US, I believe. And this is full CNC aluminum, so you can imagine it's not going to be cheaper than that.
Premium product.